Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I am JB as we continue another exciting day here in Major League Baseball. Darin Ruf, the Philadelphia Phillies, stepping in the cage, take his cuts. Darin, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Folks, you know how this thing works, and if not, I'm going to tell you right now, so then you'll know. If you're sitting by your webcam, push that red button, get in line, launch that browser, be a part of the show. Get right here and get FaceTime with Darin and myself. Meantime, I will use social media, also known as Twitter and Facebook, to ask some other questions as we get a conversation going with Darin Ruf. So get your webcams fired up. I'm going to go first to Twitter. Two-Way Playa wants to know, how old were you when you first started to believe you might be good enough to play in the major leagues?
No, that's a good question. I maybe over the last couple of years, actually, just once I got drafted out of Creighton, kind of had a feeling, that the professional baseball might work out, and sure enough, after a couple years in the minor leagues, I've been up and down here for the last 4 years now. So I'd say once I got drafted.
Oh, well, there you go. That's how you learn you can play, is they draft you.
Yeah.
Kids, if you're learning at home, if you've been drafted to play baseball, you can play baseball. That's Darin Ruf. I'm JB. Get your webcam fired up like this fan right here. Join us in the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Fan, what's your name, where you're from? What's your question?
Hey, I'm Jeff. I'm in Los Angeles, but I'm born and raised in Philly and big longtime Phillies fan. Big fan, Darin. Thanks for joining us today. Just wondering, we're big fans. We wish you were playing every day. Clearly, you're taking advantage of the opportunities you get. Just wondering, being in a platoon or a part-time situation, what are some of the techniques that you use, or what are some of the things you do to try to stay ready, when your number's called? Keep doing your thing, man.
All right, thanks very much, Jeff. So the things I try to do is just keep a similar routine every day. I definitely look ahead to see, when I might get in there against a lefty. Normally, those things 3 to 5 days out. So try to look ahead, try to watch some film on the guy I might be facing, and then just get in the cage and continue to, stay on top of my swing and work on things like that. So it's definitely all about preparation when you're in this role, and trying to take advantage of, maybe not feeling 100% comfortable in the box every night, but having an idea of what you need to do.
There you have it, folks. Thoughts from Darin. Great question from the fans. That's how the Edward Jones Chatting Cage works. Get your webcam fired up. Join us right here in the cage. Get FaceTime with your favorite first baseman in Darin Ruf. Meanwhile, I'll go back to Twitter. This is from @JoeDolinsky, TL. Darin, what advice do you have for September call-ups that'll be joining the squad?
Just keep doing your thing. What you have been doing, obviously earns you that, the call up, and hopefully it turns into, more than a call up going into spring training next year. Hopefully, especially in our situation, a lot of these guys are young, still learning, and a lot of them it's their first time, playing Major League Baseball. So, definitely keep doing your thing. Enjoy your time while you're here. Try to learn as much as possible, but don't feel overwhelmed at the same time. It's an honor to be up here and enjoy every single day, and really try to improve. And hopefully, what you do out on the field in September helps you, in the future and getting many more opportunities.
Advice there from Darin Ruf for those September call-ups. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm JB. If you can't get to your webcam, #Chatting Cage is what we're looking for on Twitter. So get your question fired up. I'll grab it, read it to Darin. We'll get an answer for you, just like we do right now. This one from Alan_Green. Who are your biggest role models, both on and off the baseball diamond?
Ooh, it's a good question. On the field, growing up, I always, looked up to Albert Pujols. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, so we didn't have a professional team in Omaha, or the closest one was Kansas City. So, but St. Louis being close to where I grew up, I got to watch Albert more than anybody, and coming up through high school and stuff, he was always a guy I tried to emulate. Once I went over to first base, it kind of made it easier too to watch him and try to pick up things that he did. Off the field, my parents, always believed in me, and always got me to and from the baseball field, to and from the football field, basketball practice, whatever I was doing at the time. So they were always there for me, always rooting for me and pulling for me. So definitely my parents off the field.
That's great to hear. We always love hearing that, and it's also important to know how important family can be to get somebody to the major league levels just like that. It's Darin Ruf. I'm JB. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. We'll talk about all kinds of topics. Fans, you bring it up. We'll talk about it. We got a fan with us now. What's your name? Where you're from? What's your question for Darin?
My name is Devin. I am from Pennsylvania. I'm a huge Phillies and Eagles fan, as you can see. And my question is, how do you tackle alternating between first and the outfield? Obviously, sometimes you play left, sometimes you play first. How do you tackle that?
It's a good question. You just try to get as much work during BP as you can at both spots. We have 50 minutes to an hour out here every day during BP. So normally I start at first base, take some ground balls there, and by the end of BP, I'm trying to shag balls in left field. So over the last 3 years or so that I've been doing both, try to get as much work in during BP as possible. It's a good time to get work in.
That's a great time to get work in when you can move around the diamond like that. That's Darin Ruf talking to the fan Devin about what it's like to go between first base and the outfield. You got to practice, and there's a good time to do it during BP. We go back now. Let's actually, you mentioned football, basketball, your parents helping you out, getting you where you need to go. It is now time for the EDJ question of the day. You attended Creighton College for 4 years. What was your favorite aspect of that experience, and did you go to the basketball games?
Oh, yeah, I tried to go to as many basketball games as I could go to. Favorite aspect, just the whole college experience, getting to play baseball for 4 years, and I was lucky enough to play in every single game my 4 years there too. So I was able to and blessed to stay healthy, get on the field, get as much practice time, game time as I could while I was there, and it was a great time. Great coaches there, great teammates. Just the whole experience was unbelievable. And getting to the basketball games, rooting on the basketball team. They weren't the best when I was there, but while I was coming up and throughout high school, it was a lot of fun watching them, following them. But it was my time there was something I'll always remember.
That's great, an answer to the EDJ question of the day. Let's go back to Twitter. This is from @GeorgeWilliam. What's your favorite parts about living in Philadelphia?
Favorite part, I love how close everything is. My wife and I live downtown and have since I got called up 3 years ago. So we enjoy living in the city when we're in Philly, and then we go back home and get to live, kind of a more quiet life when we're back home. So the kind of, I wouldn't say double life, but being able to live, in the city, have everything close, walking to everywhere we get to be, getting to see fans on the streets, things like that is truly special during the season. Then we get to go back home and just relax at our home back in Omaha.
Oh, that's an amazing year. It's a fantastic way to have things going, getting the family, keeping the wife together, having a good time downtown. Philadelphia's a great city. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. That's Darin Ruf. I'm JB, and this is a fan. What's your name? Where you from? What's your question for Darin?
Hi, Darin. I'm John. I'm from Cape May, New Jersey, and I want to know what it was like for you to play ball, and both college and high school in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, it was really special. Getting to play college ball, especially in front of my family and friends where I grew up, was awesome. And in high school, it had one of the best high school teams. I think it was my junior and senior year in the state. So very special. It's actually kind of an underrated city for baseball, I'd have to say. We have at least, I want to say 2 or 3 kids that I played with in high school that have reached professional baseball now, playing at this level. Pat Vendetti, I got to play with him in against in high school and with in college. So he's doing some special things in Oakland right now. So it was actually kind of underrated for competitiveness, and I enjoyed it.
There you have it, a great answer to a fan's question about being there in Omaha, playing and getting things going. As we look towards September, October, and obviously the off season, Darin, it's a new one for you as your career progresses. This is from @Freedom100. What are you hoping to work on and improve in this off season?
No, I hope to continue to work on being quicker, being a little bit more athletic, so I can continue to play outfield and first base. I think a big thing for me in order to stay at the major league level is to make myself as versatile as possible, and that includes playing left field, maybe some right field, wherever I can play to help a team. And so every offseason I go back, I try to work on foot quickness and getting stronger, getting more stable, and those are the things I look forward to going back and working on every offseason.
All right, that's something we'll look forward to, as we know you'll be headed the offseason. Looking forward to being on that opening day roster in 2016. It's hard to believe that's even a year we're dealing with. But congratulations on the success thus far, and congratulations. We're wrapping up this Edward Jones chatting cage. Do you feel you did okay? Feel it was a good time?
I hope so. I hope I was informative enough and answered the questions well.
Well, I've sat through. You did fantastic. I know the fans are fired up. Twitter proves it. They were really happy to get some FaceTime with you, as we were. So I want to thank you on behalf of myself and the fans. Thanks for being with us. Enjoy the rest of your day and the game. And we'll see you, fans, on the next round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage.